To a new Lambda consensus client daily. Yeah, well, we're here with Chaha today. I will go search for the YouTube link. Okay, it's ready. Right, we can start with the updates. Do you want to start?
Sure. So I've been working on cleaning up the Capella code. So we have decided we want, at least for now, a simple implementation. So we don't really want to support old forks to keep our code clean. And so, yeah, I created a PR with that. I haven't cleaned up everything. There's, I guess, some logic related to hard fork that probably we want to keep, but or maybe change it a little bit. But yeah, it's working. The PR is there. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna work on next. I guess I'll take some tickets related to validator features.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, there's plenty of them. So that's awesome. Do you want to go next, Thomas?
Yeah. Well, yesterday I was working mostly on adding the aggregator, the attestation aggregation feature. I already made 2 PRs. In those, we already add support for um, both attestation creation and publishing. We compute for each attestation duty we have or attestation duty we have. We compute the if we are an aggregator or not, and in that case, when we reach the slot, we start collecting attestations and then publish them on the network when that slot is finished. In the future, we'll need to fine tune that a bit to make it be more, because according to the spec, it needs to like publish the attestation 2/3 into the slot. We are doing that like at the end of the slot or something like that. I'm leaving that for the future, but for now we have that feature on already implemented. I'm gonna look into what needs to be done for the next features and maybe start one of them. I also added a PR about on documentation on the SSCTX schema. I finished that PR from Fernando. I added some more documentation and that PR is ready for review. I also added Sentry support. I forgot to mention. Basically, it allows us to receive notifications whenever something goes wrong on the node we are running on our servers. That's it. Yep.
That's great. Observability is amazing. Yeah, as for I think that attestations, at least the generation and subscribing to the Gossip network and everything is done already by your PRs. So if we want to continue with the next features regarding like creating things, subscribing to things, I think that probably the next one is proposing blocks, right? That's a pretty big one. Like especially the whole part about generating the block is pretty big. So that could be a good next issue.
But wait, do we have everything in place to start participating in a testnet just by sending attestations?
Yeah, there's one extra thing, which is actually sending the attestation, right? Because we are not testing that until we have a network, or are we already doing that?
We already do that. The thing is, the private key is hard coded, and we don't like.
Do we have a way to test it now, or
no? Not really. I just I just keep the node running until we have an attestation duty and see if it crashes.
That makes sense.
We don't know if our peers are accepting that. Well, they won't accept that attestation since it's not really from a validator.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that we can do until we have a local testnet, which should happen very soon, is if you have enough whole ETH, you can use the whole key to test that. If you like, we can't propose blocks yet, but I think that that's a fairly uncommon thing. So if you already are able to produce attestations, that's something that we can start testing on Holesky.
Yeah, that would be a huge milestone to
Yeah.
be a validator and having all that flow tested.
Yeah.
Yeah, because proposing a block is a big beast. So yeah, if we can somehow like round this milestone, I think that's probably, unless we are blocked with something, but yeah, maybe I would try to have that in a good state.
That sounds like a great idea. Do you want to do something like that, Thomas?
I have some things to think about that, because we have the private key hard coded, so we are gonna miss like the first attestations, and we also still don't compute the validator index by ourselves. It's also hard coded. I think that won't be an issue, though. We can just wait for the first few slots until we are like an active validator, and until we have assigned that our validator index, just wait. Yeah, I might need your help, though, Martin, if you want to run the execution client on the side.
Sure. Yeah, we can divide the work for sure.
Okay, nice. As for my updates, I've been reading most of Lighthouse work on local testnets. They have several scripts that I've been reading, and basically they are able to set up a single Geth node with an arbitrary number of beacon nodes, and at most a single validator on top of each of the beacon nodes. They have several scripts for like setting that up, for setting the Genesis code, for starting all of the nodes. They don't use Docker or anything like that. They just they just set up all of the nodes by hand in some shell scripts. So I'm trying to see what if we can. I have two options now. The quote unquote simplest one would be that we just use that same script, but instead of Lighthouse, we just run our node and see what happens. That could be a good initial point. That's not something that's very scalable. It wouldn't be very it wouldn't be nice that we just like set up Lighthouse testnet with our code in our CI, for example, and we probably want to be able to have like our node and also a different node with two separate execution clients instead of them sharing the same execution client. But I think that I can do that as a first step, like preparing our node, our beacon node, to be set up in that script. And the idea behind that is that at least it would prepare us for getting arbitrary genesis, for instance, and making sure that at least our node is ready for that kind of stuff. One of the challenges here is that there's like we currently today we only do checkpoint sync, and the local testnet doesn't provide anything like that. The other idea is that we can run the local testnet until a point and then do a checkpoint sync to that, but that might be complicated. So I'm just managing ideas and trying to see what's the easiest one to have results as early as possible. So yeah, I will try to reach one of those options later today. That's what I've been doing, and I've also been getting some more whole ETH. But I think that we should be able to run Holesky validators anyway between the three of us, if we needed to. So that's everything for me. Do we have any final comments or questions? All right, let's finish the daily for today then. Thank you all for joining. See you all tomorrow.